Steven Soderbergh's Full Frontal is a movie about love that's about movies, and also love. The structure is an alternation between the romantic comedy Rendezvous, shot in gorgeous 35mm film, and another set of stories, which is presumably Full Frontal, although it's not named until the very end, shot on digital video, although it's video that's been heavily processed on its way to being 35mm film, the medium the prints were ultimately made from, which is one of the many levels of deception in the film. The Rendezvous sections are shot with a very Hollywood look, a volume-defining light, a classic film grammar of steady alternation between master and medium shots, tripod camera work, basically everything you would expect from a standard Hollywood love story. The video sections are shot with a loose, shaky, realistic, almost documentary or even reality show style. So the obvious way to read the movie is that Full Frontal is contrasting movies, like Rendezvous, with real life. But it's actually up to something more complicated than that.
And it's one of those places where I can lie.
This being LA, most of the characters orbit around the entertainment industry in one way or another, and the movies have a way of leaking into their world. Even the hermetically sealed slickness of Rendezvous gets porous sometimes. Full Frontal is all about smashing together devices that remind you that you're watching a movie and devices that signify reality, all set against a Hollywood realism that seems more stagey every time we cut to it. Because ultimately, it's a movie about people who never feel like their lives are quite real. They're all presenting, performing, trying to impose an impression on the person in front of them like an actor imposes on an audience.
I just don't want them knowing me, I don't want them knowing me. I give the name Anne all the time because it seems like Anne is one. And it's less invasive.
The film's simultaneously self-conscious and earnest visual rhetoric is there to tell a story about self-conscious people who are trying very hard to be earnest. Full Frontal has a terrific The Way We Live Now quality.
Fucking Goebbels. Thinks it's a toy.
And its cinematic self-consciousness is there to reinforce, not deconstruct, its portrait of 21st century Americans trapped in a persistent mediascape, which gives them only unhelpful ideas about how to enact themselves, but still trying to find a way to tell their own story, in their own words, as well as the stories that might explain the people they're trying to love.
It's like she's a dog that got hit by a car and she walked away and she's still walking. But some very, very important things inside her are damaged.
Soderbergh has always been fascinated by people in the act of talking about themselves. And in Full Frontal, he parallels people in the act of talking about themselves with a movie talking about itself. What keeps Full Frontal from being just a movie about movies is his awareness of that parallel, the way that all human relationships are built around the act of presenting yourself to another person, and also the way that this can leave you feeling like a two-dimensional creature, like an actor who isn't allowed to leave the stage.
So he gives me this injection, and I become invisible. And I can do anything, right? Because, I'm invisible. What do? I
bought new underwear. Have you seen a photo?
This is art. I dumped my girlfriend the day we started rehearsals.
I think it goes way beyond just wanting to perform.
Nice to meet you.
Nice seeing you.